going on, you guys? Coming at you back from home finally after that long trip. For those of you that were following along, watching all of our adventures, man, we moved around a lot and the time seems like it went by so fast because we were so busy. Started off in Thailand. We did the collab with Dave Kaufman. That was pretty cool. That consumed about the first half of our trip, and then from there we had to handle a bunch of business. We ended up in Malaysia. We showed you guys some of the animals that we saw in the facility there, and boy, I'll tell you what, that was a very productive trip, not just for animals, but we have something really big in the works that's just now starting. We're starting to get ready for that. It's coming towards the end of this year. I'm not going to divulge exactly what's going on. Some of you guys have known that I've kind of casually mentioned it face to face, but we will put it out publicly when we're ready. But I had a lot of questions for my partner, and it seemed like every single thing that I asked was a yes. So of course that's because I know what I'm doing. I'm familiar with the industry, so I know what's possible and what's not possible. So of course the things that I asked about were things that I somewhat assumed were possible, and it's just looking really good. It was almost kind of starting to sound unrealistic with the amount of yes answers that I got. So that was pretty cool, and Apple and I are really excited about that project. From there we went over into Indonesia, showed you guys more animals from the farm there. Those animals are not here yet. They will be here hopefully next weekend is what the tentative plan is for those guys. So that is about it. My leg is doing much better. The swelling is gone. Still have a scab there, but of course that cut went all the way down to the bone, so it's still going to be there for a while as it's healing, but it looks pretty good. Still a bit of a bump there, but it's not swollen. It's just probably some scar tissue or whatnot. But anyway, that doesn't hurt anymore at all. By the time that we flew back, things were looking really good. A little bit scary there in the beginning, especially with the swelling. It would have been better if I just laid down and put my leg up, but you know, I'm on a trip. I don't have time to lay down. So the swelling and the fluid and everything was just continuously being pulled by gravity down into my foot, and it hurt. It was painful. But anyway, that is all fixed up. I'm 1 week back to the gym. I'm 1 week back to work, and I'm starting to feel normal. My jet lag is starting to wear off, so that's pretty good. And that is about it. I showed you guys kind of what we were doing our last day in Bangkok. Didn't show you guys any animals, and so I wanted to spend some time today and show you some animals to make up for it, because I realize most of you guys are here for the animals and not really for me. So let me show you guys some animals. A little bit of breeding things going on here. The season is just sort of getting underway, but some of the colubrids are showing me some very positive signs, so I'm pretty excited about that. But I want to show you guys some animals. I got to keep showing the obscure stuff, right? While I was gone doing all the travel videos, you guys got massive amounts of retics and ball pythons from the other YouTube channels. So now I gotta fight back, you guys. I'm going to show you guys some obscure stuff. So let's get started. So one of the animals that I get a lot of messages about are Ptyas carinata. Am I still working with them? The answer is yes and no. I'm no longer working with the Indonesian ones. I'm just focusing my attention on these Malaysian ones. I like the Malaysian ones better. They just seem a lot more colorful, a lot more banded, more contrasty. And this one I've never held actually, so this is kind of interesting for me. Growing a lot. I'm actually quite impressed by the size, because when this came it was quite small and looking really good. Now my problem with these Ptyas from Malaysia, I have too many females and not enough boys. I have one male that is a bit on the small side, so I don't know if we're going to be able to accomplish anything this season, but of course there is the chance to continue getting more of these from Malaysia. So I'm trying my best to put together a nice little group of these guys. Now this is just one of the girls. I'll show you a couple of the others before we move on to another species. Okay, when this one came, it was really, really skinny. I thought that it actually was a DOA, to be honest with you. It was that bad looking. And boy, have I done a nice job with this one. And it happens to be one of the lighter ones that I have. This one is also a female, and obviously very spunky to boot. But again, I don't hold these guys at all. But man, look at the color of this animal. It's amazing. Still has some growing to do, but again, it is a female, so the females are going to top out at just a little bit bigger than this. But I just like the Malaysian, the look of the Malaysians is just so much nicer than the Indonesians in general. They're very light, very contrasty, and also very, very rare. Malaysia is, there's not a lot of suppliers out of Malaysia. I've got myself a fantastic one that I have been doing business with for like 12 years now. So it's cool that I'm able to actually source these a little bit, but again, they are rare. Don't get me. Come on, I'm being gentle. So I have a couple smaller ones I'm going to show you. Here's another small one. This one is yet another degree lighter in color. It actually looks a lot different. It has some maybe yellow gold color in it, but a smaller one, of course. This one is a boy. So this is my only boy at this point. So I don't know. When I put him with a girl, the girls just kind of want to eat him, and he really freaks out. So I'm waiting to get a little more size before I do any pairing. Now these will breed year round, and they'll multiple clutch per year, so it's not like I cannot still try this year. But with our plans of what we're doing in Malaysia, I'm not sure if I want to undergo some breeding past a certain point, because you may be able to kind of figure out what I'm alluding to. We have something going on in Malaysia, so we'll see. But regardless, these animals are getting in tip-top shape, and they're looking quite good. And I have another really little one, also from Malaysia, of course. You know, when you've seen enough of these, you can kind of start to tell the difference. It becomes quite obvious between the Indonesian and the Malaysian ones, at least to me anyway. But nice small one, also doing really well. These guys have been with me already for several months, so they're doing quite well. Excited to have them. We'll see what else shows up in the next shipments. I didn't see any Ptyas carinata over there in Malaysia. I also didn't see any in Indonesia. There's always a chance to get some more from Indonesia, but I don't see myself holding on to the Indonesians because I want to breed these true to locality. So we'll see, but I have these guys. And then of course I have the animal from my Facebook profile picture, I guess, the main picture of the little baby on my hand. That animal is now an adult female. She's deep in blue right now, so I'm not going to show her, but I do show her occasionally in my videos. So for those of you that are watching, you know, she's big, and she's getting there too. She actually was developing some follicles a few months ago, so she's definitely of breeding age and size. So now it's just a matter of kind of getting a boy that's big enough that is not intimidated and won't get eaten. I have to do all that stuff well supervised, of course, because I can't just throw snakes together and hope for the best. There is definitely a degree of difficulty breeding these, especially when you have snakes with such huge, strong, aggressive appetites, and they just kind of go after anything that moves. So have to be careful. Especially with only one male, I have to be extremely careful that I don't lose that one male. All right, so Ptyas carinata from Malaysia, you guys. It's one of my top projects, and I'm doing quite well with the ones that I have. I'm still trying to source more. I'm gonna take as much as I can get for the time being. They're gonna sit here. They're gonna get nice and healthy, and then you guys will see what's going on for the future with those guys. Okay, you guys, and this is Ganyasoma jansenii from Indonesia. Just something interesting that came in a previous shipment that I thought I might spend a little bit of time and see what I can do with them. I really like these animals. So far they're acclimating pretty well. So we'll see how they do long term. I know in the past I haven't had very good luck with these, but it always depends on what they look like when they first show up also. So these came in looking really good, and they've been here already for a number of months, so they seem to be doing quite well, and I am giving them my best shot. So we'll see how they do. They are wild caught, of course, so I'm not sure, how long it's going to take for them to acclimate and then hopefully breed. So we'll see. But I definitely wanted to show these guys because you're pretty much not going to see a lot of this stuff on YouTube for sure. So I have a pair of gold D'Alberts. This is my female, and I have a little male that I pulled out of a shipment for his nice gold color. So I was quite surprised that this female refused food on the last meal. So I am not sure what's going on. She's definitely a bit darker than she normally is, and she never refused food ever since I've had her. So I don't know what's going on. I'm just keeping them together for the time being, still offering food and just kind of monitoring what's going on. I rarely take any of my snakes out for handling. So what I like to do is, as I kind of let them cruise back, I like to feel and see if I feel for anything going on. I don't feel anything, but boy, she does have some nice girth to her, some nice size. So I don't know, they're just here, have them together, and they're just doing whatever it is that they do. Okay, you guys, and I also have a pair of Timor pythons that I've had here for quite some time now, just sort of raising them up. They are just sort of on the borderline of breedable size, and I've had the male and the female together now for a while, so just kind of feeding them, and it's exactly the same with the gold D'Alberts. I just take them out every once in a great while, which is super rare, and then I'll palpate the female as she goes back into the cage. So this is the male, so I will check her in a moment. So this is the female. They each have a very different look to them. This one has a really broken up pattern, but I like the attitudes of both. They're really nice. They will sometimes pee just out of being nervous, but not so bad. But they're not snappy at all. So I'm going to palpate this female on the way back in, see if I feel anything. But again, these are young animals, and I really couldn't tell you if they're breedable size. I don't feel anything, but the season is still early, and I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. Maybe I'll get lucky, maybe not, I'm not sure. My last season here in the US is essentially what we're talking about, so it's kind of a do or die kind of thing. So we'll see how it goes. But anyway, still having fun, right? So as far as breeding updates, I have red-tailed green rat snake eggs in the incubator, 2 small clutches. My Mexican Spilotes, I feel follicles already in a couple of the girls, so that's starting to look quite promising. And I have a couple of other animals that are holding eggs that I'm just going to stay a little bit tight-lipped about that for now. And for breeding, that is about it. But again, it's a little bit early, at least for me, in the season. So let's see what's coming up. We will be at the Del Mar show, probably Saturday only. And we have Indonesia hopefully arriving next weekend. Malaysia is coming in March, and I have a kind of a sizable order of captive bred Boiga and different colubrids coming from Europe, also towards the end of March, I guess. And then my work is really going to begin as those babies that I have now are hatching, and then I start compounding it with more babies. I'm going to be very busy like I was before I left on this trip. Right now I've cleared it out quite well. This wall is super manageable. more than half of these tubs are empty. The back wall, there's a lot of empty tubs. So it feels really good right now. I have room to breathe, and it's very easy to maintenance what I have right now. So I don't feel like I'm really overburdened. But that's all going to change here rather quickly. Lots of animals will come in, and then animals, of course, will go out. All the people that I've been talking to about special orders and pre-orders and everything else, that will help me move animals out so I won't be just killing myself. Apple does a really, really good job during the week. She does lots of cleaning and maintenance and that sort of thing. I do the feedings on the weekend, and we're quite a good team. And if you watch the videos, you will see us working together. She's filming right now. We are a really good team. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. We just are. We're a really, really good partnership, and we get things done. So that is about it. I hope I made up for the last video of not having any snakes. And I just wanted to come at you guys, make up for last weekend, show you guys some stuff, bring you up to speed. My leg is doing good. I appreciate the messages that you guys, some of you were very concerned and you cautioned me that I may have some serious infection and that sort of thing. So I just wanted to show you that it's not that. Thank God it is good and healthy, and I'm coming around and everything's all right. And that is about it. I hope you guys are enjoying your weekend, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. See ya.